Girl, I don't know if there's a difference or not. I can't really tell. Y'all let me know. I try not to have it too loud because when I have it too loud, it you can hear like some kind of weird feedback. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't even know what's going on down to the internet, girl. I know they said Fat Joe had some allegations against him going on. I don't know what those are all about. The people said he's not a black man. So what you gonna say when they trying to take down a Latina man, a Latina? They trying to take down a Latina man, a Afro Latina, a white Latina. What? Girl, this is crazy. Fat Joe's former hype man alleges he was forced into 4,000 sex acts by the rapper. The federal civil lawsuit filed by Terrence T.A. Dixon comes months after Fat Joe sued him for slander and defamation. Okay, let me put the reader on this. Rapper Fat Joe is accused of forcing his former hype man to engage in thousands of sex acts with women. He forced you to? Girl. He may have, girl. But like it's always weird with these guys that are hanging around these rappers and public figures and entertainers like that because they literally benefit from the overflow of women because there are some girls, some women with their brains backwards in their skull who will fuck a dude in proximity to a rapper. They're trying to get to the rapper, so I guess they're gonna fuck their way to him. So they'll mess with the outliers, right? I remember this girl. I remember this girl. She was a roommate, and she messed with Praz from the Fugees, and then she messed with ODB. And we used to make a joke, and we used to be like, "Girl, why the fuck you fuck with the brokest niggas out the crew?" Girl, I was like, I remember it was funny. I told her, girl, you what you fuck why you fuck with the brokest niggas out there? ODB and Praz? Why not Wyclef and Method Man? Girl. Hell, even Raekwon. Good Ghostface. You understand what I'm saying? Girl, but Ghostface, he ain't shit. Doesn't he like deny he has a queer child? I think he denies his child. I think his child is trans. I think I don't know how these niggas thought that the queer children were gonna skip them. You niggas be having 15 children. Y'all don't think one of them's gonna be queer, girl? Let's finish reading about Fat Joe. So, anyways, he said that he forced him to have thousands of sex acts with women in a $20 million federal civil lawsuit that also alleges that he underpaid, denied songwriting credits, and threatened. Terrence filed a complaint on Thursday with the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York against the rapper, members of his inner circle, and Rock Nation. Girl, it's all Rock Nation's fault. Let the little Keeblers tell it. Keebler Lanes and his daddy with them damn girl Daystar. And what's her father's name? Morning Star. That's Lucifer's name, Morning Star. It's Rock Nation. An attorney for Fat Joe, whose real name is Joseph Antonio Carragina, said that the allegations were complete fabrications intended to damage the rapper's reputation. The lawsuit said that Dixon was the rapper's hype man and on stage entertainer, but also contributed as a lyricist, background vocalist, bodyguard, and creative collaborator from 2005 to 2022. That's crazy. So you got a lot of proof, don't you? It alleges that Dixon authored and co-authored dozens of songs, including Congratulations, Ice Creams, No Problem, and Blackout. Plaintiff contributed to lyrics, melodies, vocal phrasings, conceptual designs to these works, substantially shaping their final form as distributed to the public. A lot of women do this. A lot of women can have a lawsuit against their, like when they be in the kitchen sitting at the table helping their man come up with a rap, and they come up with the whole hook and he puts it in the song and doesn't give you credit for it. Little stuff like that. That's what this dude is talking about. Being around, being in the studio, contributing by saying, no, you should rhyme it with this one. You should take this word and do it with this, or maybe say it like this. They be like, oh no, I contributed. You use you made a whole, you used the hookup that I came up with. Oh, I contribute to the success of this record. I want some credit for it. Oh, definitely. Oh, for sure. Yeah, people do that all the time. Women get duped out of a lot of stuff by giving like free your knowledge, your creative wisdom, giving it to, a partner. And this happens all the time. This literally happens all the time. Okay, in the 157-page document, which comes with a trigger warning at the top, also details allegations of SA. It alleges that Fat Joe routinely brought women back to his hotel room and forced Dixon to engage in sexual acts with them, sometimes in front of members of the rapper's inner circle. According to the suit, Cartagena frequently arranged and orchestrated these encounters, intentionally creating scenarios designed to reinforce plaintiff's complete submission. It accuses Cartagena of remaining in the room to watch, record, and provide explicit direction and commands. Wow, that sounds like Puffy, right? Dixon did not want to participate in the acts, the lawsuit states. Who's calling me? Hello? Okay, back. I had to get a confirmation for some appointments. Anyways, Dixon did not want to participate in these acts, the lawsuit states, but did so solely out of fear of an immediate retaliation. During one alleged incident, Dixon refused, and Cartagena canceled his flight home, leaving Dixon stranded with no money. So this is confusing me, right? This is confusing me. You're not holding any money in your pockets. You like with the money, are you not being paid at all? And the currency is the proximity to the rapper. Is that what's happening? Because why didn't you have any money to get home? You're a grown man. This, you understand what I'm saying? Why didn't you have money? You are literally dependent on a man to this amount that he can leave you somewhere and you be stranded as a grown man, even as a grown woman, be stranded somewhere. You don't know anybody. Dixon said that over a 16-year period, he estimates that he was coerced into more than 4,000 sex acts to maintain his standing within the enterprise. The lawsuit also alleges that Dixon personally witnessed Cartagena engage in sexual relations with 15 and 16-year-old girls. The lawsuit also alleges that Dixon personally witnessed, okay, I said that, Cartagena's lawyer, Joseph Tacopina. Whose lawyer is this? Somebody else's lawyer. Joseph Tacopina said that Dixon's lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation and a desperate attempt to deflect attention from a civil lawsuit the rapper filed in April, accusing Dixon and his attorney Tyrone Blackburn of extortion, slander, and defamation. The lawsuit from Cartagena says, Cartagena says that things ended amicably in 2019, and it wasn't until years later that Dixon alleged that he had been underpaid while working with the rapper. The suit says that he compensated him handsomely for assisting him on tour, and denies Dixon's allegations that the rapper had relations with minors. It further accuses Dixon and Blackburn of trying to extort Cartagena for money. We didn't just sue a disgruntled former employee trying to revive a false claim 15 years ago. We sued the lawyer behind it all, they said in a statement. The allegations against Fat Joe are complete fabrications, lies intended to damage his reputation and enforce a settlement through public pressure. So that has been the pattern around Tyrone Blackburn, and that the people are saying all the same thing, that he comes in, he even got reprimanded by a judge for the way he comes up, like the way that he outlines his complaints and how salacious and explicit they are, so that when they hit the blogs, people are, because it's salacious, people are going to be, it's going to give a lot of engagement. So he feels like the public pressure, because of the type of allegations they are, it will make the person or force the person to settle before the word gets out to the public that you could be possibly messing with minors, you coerced your entourage to have sex with multiple people, whatever. And let me tell you about, like, the reason why sex crimes are so, like, ill is because of the familiarity. And so there's like a blurred line there. And that goes for either way that the crime goes, whoever is the victim of the crime. Doesn't matter who the victim of the crime is. The matter is that the weapon that's used is sex. So when it's time to say, hey, I didn't want this, or hey, I did this, I was coerced to this, then there's so much doubt that can be laid on top of your allegation, because sex is so close and so familiar that people are going to be like, oh, you wanted to do that, or why were you so close, or how did you let it happen so many times? You understand what I'm saying? Especially with this guy saying 4,000, you've had sex acts 4,000 times. And now if I was a lawyer, I would be like, well, why didn't 4,000 times? How did you get to 1,000? How did you get to 500? Well, he said over a 4-year period, or a 12-year, 16-year period. Girl, 4, 12, 16. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's a little weird to me. This is kind of weird because 4,000 is a lot. Hey Siri, set a timer for 30 minutes.
30 minutes counting down.
Yeah. It says, in response, Blackburn said on Friday that Cartagena is a desperate and grasping for straws. We met with law enforcement. Let's wait and see who they believe, he said. The lawsuit says Dixon suffered severe emotional injuries, including chronic anxiety, debilitating fear, and symptoms consistent with PTSD. He remains in trauma-informed therapy, the suit says. So we'll see what comes out. I don't know. That's all I have to say. I don't know what else to say about it. I would really like to see what the comments said. That was from ABC News. Let me go to the comments and see what the comments say. I'm pretty sure I did save this. If you haven't liked the video, go ahead and like the video. I need to get my posture together, but this is tripping me out because the way the neck is going. So when I look up, I look like I'm not straight. And so I try to straighten out, and it's the damn microphone. Okay, let's see. Let's see some of the comments, what they say. If a 15-year-old got a BBL, the doctor needs to be investigated too. I'm about to sue 2025 for stress. That's all of Diddy's friends are quiet out here because they all had the same skeletons in their closet. Somebody posted a picture of Cat Williams. Cat told us everybody's dirt is going to come to light. I really don't think a lot of these claims against these guys in the industry are far-fetched. I was underdeveloped in high school, but one thing I noticed that there was never a shortage of grown men who chased after the girls and boys and the boys. Even had a couple harass me and I looked like a child. If that's how everyday niggas and even some teachers are acting in the hood near you, how in a suburb, because I know y'all saw that white lady that just got arrested for having inappropriate relationships with her students. And they picked her up and they put her in the car, and they were like, oh, we're taking you over here. She's like, where are we going? Where's my husband? Then she want to start crying. Bitch, you know what the fuck you did? You know what you did. Even had a couple harass me and I looked like a child. In my humble opinion, they all got dirt on each other. Seizing the opportunity to capitalize was bound to happen. Add to that, we're all in the age of revelation. Everything is coming to light. This is just the beginning. Yep. I believe it. He's been weird. You get a lawsuit, you get a lawsuit, you get a lawsuit. That's one thing about America. Anybody can file a lawsuit. Hip hop and its legends are under full attack. They're pressing everyone with the same bullshit stories. Don't be naive and fall for the propaganda.
Girl, shut the fuck up.
Who is this guy? Oh, a so-called rapper. Girl, that's why you have that opinion. So everyone knows where the courthouse is, but not the precinct. Nobody should get a dollar. Okay, y'all have to stop saying go to the cops. Google law enforcement involvement, sex trafficking, and watch what you see. They're not always the best people to go around. You have to remember what their purpose was, and their purpose has always been to act as a reminder that you will submit. That these people, although they're just like you and I, they can touch you. If you touch them back, you can get in trouble for touching them back. But they can touch you. They can put their hands all over you. You have no autonomy when when it comes to these people. The same power that Fat Joe, Diddy, whoever else, Tyler Perry, whoever else, Oprah, whoever is abusing their power, Chris Brown, whoever, not Neo, yeah, Neo, Trey Songs, who's the other one that likes to kiss on people without their permission? How many more do we have to go? How many more do we have to go? These people, no matter what, there are people who they need to, wait, hold on a second. So if you think that people higher ups, wherever, listen, I'll put it like this. Wherever there is a structure of hierarchy, then people are going to abuse the power. That's it. Wherever it is, wherever it is, if it's in entertainment, if it's in sports, wherever it is, if it's in the home, if it's at work, where there's a hierarchy, it depends on the person's personality, but they are likely to abuse that position, to abuse their power. So what do you think a cop is going to do? You know how many cops, like I say it all the time, you know how many cops are off duty security for these weirdos? So they're watching what they're doing. They're able to carry. So a lot of the times they hire them off duty cops to be their bodyguards. So the same, they are watching everything. So they know what's going on. So when you say, oh, you've been coerced to have sex 4,000 times with I don't know how many people, and why didn't you go down to the cops and tell them what? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And after he wins a lawsuit, lock him up to it for withholding information for monetary gain. So everyone knows where the courthouse is, but not the precinct. Nobody should get a dollar unless they press criminal charges because y'all are down with the nonsense until the money stops. Well, you have to think, why are people able to abuse people and hang money over their head? Where's the value being held? You understand what I'm saying? Now, what exactly did you do 4,000 times? That's what I want to know. That's very interesting. So we'll see what happens with that case. I'm sure it'll. Are they just trying to take a black man down? Oh, never mind. All right, let's see. India Arie and her mother break their silence, detailing physical and SA tied to her father. I spent my adult life working through issues with my father. This is really sad. I listened to some of what the mom said yesterday, and I was just like, she was like, it's no Father's Day for you, motherfucker." She didn't say it like that. I just added the motherfucker in there. But she called his name and said, "It won't be no Father's Day for you because you abused me. I watched you abuse our daughter. I'm not staying silent anymore." India has already come out and said that it's not something that's happening currently, but they felt like they wanted to talk about it. I guess make it public. They've already worked through it in counseling and things like that. But I don't know. And to be perfectly honest, I don't care if I mean, whatever. It's gonna sound selfish because you think that I'm here to serve, but I would have rather gone this life and been child free and not like I literally. And I think about, like, I thought about that woman whose husband killed her like, they got into an argument on Facebook, and then he killed himself, and then, I mean, he killed her and then later killed himself. And they had this toxic relationship, letting everybody in their business and what have you. And I know that being in relationships with men is just a part of the journey. But for me, it's about, if the, it's about, like, I feel like it's about getting out alive, getting out. Because you might get out without, without scars, without mental anguish. You might get out, but to continue to participate and over again, it's like you literally take a risk in trusting somebody with your life. And I don't think that I have enough trust in me to trust anybody with my life, not an adult male. Nope. That's just how I feel about it. And when I stepped out of participating in trying to even date, um let's go on a date and this and that, I was like, no, because I was able to get out. I was able to get out with my edges intact. I was able to get out. If anything happens to me, it is going to be either life, or or my own doing, or just life. But I hope that is my life here isn't cut short because I was in close proximity to a man and he flipped out for some reason. And, like, it's so weird how when you see in the comments, she was talking shit, she was talking shit, she was talking shit. But wasn't he talking shit too? So if we're talking shit to each other, but something I say is worse than what you say to me, because then you turn around and in my life, I was just as mad. Why didn't I end your life? Why did you think that the resolve to this was to take her out of here? Like, that is insane to me. And I just pray for the girls that they get out of this desire to be in close proximity with their greatest threat. And we see it every day. Like, they make it seem like, oh, we have to protect you from the big bad man in the alley, jumping out of the bushes. No, that's not true. What I tell you, everything in this motherfucker is backwards. Whatever they tell you that it's supposed to be or how it is, you better inspect the shit out of that. Inspect it. Question it. Every question. Ask all the questions about it. Because it doesn't make sense to be like, oh, we're protecting you from the big bad man in the alley. But it's really your husband you need to be careful of. Because the studies show that it's like 85% of women, 85% of homicides for women, they know the person. They're either related to them or they were an intimate partner. And yes, people kill people who they know and who they're around. That's typically, but there is an alarming amount of women being offed by their partners, their husbands, their boyfriends, their girlfriends. It's crazy, the amount. The ratio is nuts. And it's really sad. And I just look at the girls and I'm just like, I hope you get out of it. I hope you get out of it. DDG, I just thought of DDG going into Haley's house and taking a picture of her bed. You know how sacred your bed is? That's your safe place. That is where you release everything. You put down everything, you release everything. For somebody to walk into your house and violate that boundary and then take a picture of your bed and send it to you, you lucky I didn't go to sniper school, motherfucker. because I would take you out of here. You don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about anybody coming to my bed, taking a picture of my bed. That's dangerous. That's scary. To imagine like I'm away on a trip and the motherfucker is thinking that I'm on we don't even go together, and you just want to harass me and say I'm not allowing you to see my kid because I'm off in another country with some man. And so you let me know you still have power. You still have some control. You violate my home, come into my home and take a picture of my fucking bed. And then you got India Love's backwards brain ass over there in his face. And what do you think he's going to do to you? You have, to me, it's all about whatever you want to do and experience these dudes, however you want to experience them. Whatever you want to do with these dudes. If you want to experience them, you want to get married, you want to do something, this is your life, do whatever the fuck you want to do. But at some point, I feel like at some point you're like, okay, I'm done playing this game. I'm actually intact enough to get out and have a fulfilling life after dealing with the likes of and dealing with these people. I'm telling you, the fact that he came, like when I think about how scary that is. So now she knows first, how did you get in here? Now when I can't even rest. And that's to me, like it makes me think of really violent thoughts to do to a man who violates a woman by coming into her home, taking a picture of her bed and sending it to her while she's out of town. How the fuck did you get in my house? I would want to move, not just change the locks. I want to move because I don't know how the fuck you got in here. And everybody said like, oh, DDG's a good father. And his mother, ugh. I just think about it. I think about all these women who have these weird, how many people have the same story? And then for people to actually get down here and be like, I don't agree with what you have to say about men. Girl, I don't care whether you agree or not. There's millions of women who can stand behind me and tell their fucking stories. I don't have to tell my story. I really don't. I don't have to say, I don't ever have to tell you my story ever again. There's too many women who have parallel stories. And like you would really think they were with the same dude. And then you ask yourself, where the fuck did they learn this shit from? Where did they, it's in everything. It's in everything. So these people abusing power, men who don't have nothing abuse their power. They have little. What do you think DDG, with the little power and resources that he has, broke into this girl's house and took a picture of her bed? What do you think Diddy's doing with his money? What do you think Tyler Perry's doing with his money? What do you think these men are doing with their money? And then they do it and they use that weapon of sex. Because then you can say, oh no, you see how many questions I had? Like 4,000 times? That's crazy as hell. Now I have questions. Now people are going to have questions because sex is so familiar that how many times did you do this? You didn't want to do this? You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I was going to go and sit by the pool. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I just think about all these different things. And what I was trying to say was do whatever the hell you want to do. Have the experiences you want to have. Just get out at a good time and get out of the game at a good time so that you can actually live your life. Have a couple kids, you want the kids or whatever, but yeah. You want to be able to have a peaceful life, not serving anybody, just being with yourself, doing what you want to do, going where you want to go, spending the money you want to spend. You know what I'm saying? Going on the vacations you want to go to, going on the excursions you want to go, getting the certificates you want to get. I was looking yesterday. I was like, I think I want to do a Pilates certification. I don't know. I haven't done Pilates. Like I'll do like some Pilates little workouts here and there, but I don't do Pilates. But I was just looking at this woman the other day. I might as well. I think I don't know. I don't know if I might go get my 500-hour certification for a yoga instructor. But you see, I have my choices. I can choose what I want to do. I can get a certification here, get a certification there. Get all your certifications, girl. Live your life. Travel with your friends. Do a puzzle, girl. I don't know, go hiking, jump in a river, jump in a lake. You know what I'm saying? Go camping. Do all the things you want to do. Get out alive. That's all I can say. Get out alive and without a limp and with your edges intact and not too much of the cortisol that you can't work it off yourself after you get out of the relationship. So it is what it is. Okay, I had to unpause. Okay, real quick. So yeah, people abusing power. I don't think it's cool. I don't know what else to say. This thing with India Ari and her mom, it was really sad to listen to that. It's just like I said, it's just like it's like getting out of it so that you can live your life. Like I often think about like my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, and my aunt, her daughter, and how my grandfather and my uncle were abusive men to them earlier in their marriages, and how at the end of those marriages, they're both widowed, and they took care of the men that abused them. And I often think about how my grandmother is like in her 90s and my aunt is in her late 70s. And in my mind, although I'm estranged from them, I hope that they are doing the things that they wanted to always wanted to do. Now that they're in their 90 and in their 90s and their 70s, after taking care of men who caused them a lot of pain, a lot. Girl, you lucky you didn't get pushed into a bathtub like the ladies in the Medea movies, okay? But just thinking about like she's 90 something years old and she's 70 something years old and they're finally free and being able to live their life on their own accord and do what the hell what they want to do and travel where they want to go. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I got out in my 40s. You understand what I'm saying? And hopefully I have some time left here to do whatever the hell I want to do and just do, and continue to do what I want to do. I've always been like that. That's why it's never, I'm a person who is unsuitable, and it's something I never should have participated in because I can't get jiggy with the way that the people are socialized. I'm so far out of that. And even thinking, even I thought I met this guy. We're on a platonic level, but, and he introduced me to some really good information. I learned a lot in the amount of time that we spent together. And but we stopped spending time together because there was something he had an issue with black women. His mother was an educator with a white man. He hated it. He hated it, but at the same time understood it because he knew that no other, and he would say it, no other black man could measure up with my mom. Like men in her peer group, they're just not there. And he kind of resented his mom for it, but kind of understood, like I understood why you did that. And it like angered him that there were no eligible men for his mother that were not white. But then he started saying different things about black women and sending me memes and stuff like that in our text message. And I was like, why did you send this to me? And he thought it was funny, but it was something. And he was like, he one of the last memes he sent, he was like, you remind me of this. And I can't remember what the meme said, and I just remember it was yellow with like black writing. That's all I remember. And I was like, why did you send this to me? And then slowly after that, I just back away from people. I just back away from people. I'm not available. I'm not returning your call. I just back away. If you reach out to me, I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling it. I don't like the way that you spoke to me. I don't like the memes that you send me. You seem to have a problem with black women, and that's something that I cannot change. So I'm going to change us being in proximity together because I don't want to be around people who don't like me. I just don't. I don't know. And you think because, oh, he has like a progressive mind and he understands and this and that. But he just, it was something, it was just in the jokes that he would say. I was just like, you're weird. I'm cool. Deuces. Right. But he was a cool dude. We we built on a lot of like esoteric information. It was a lot. He gave me a lot of information. I learned a lot from him. But he was just like, even as a, like I was saying, it doesn't even have to mean in a romantic relationship, in a platonic relationship. Just get out of that. Like I have sons, yes, but I really support the 4B movement because the women are literally like, these men are not, if I look at all aspects of life, the closer they are in proximity to you, the more familiar they are with you, the more dangerous they are to you. It's not the strange man. Yeah, every now and again it is the stranger danger, but a lot of the times it's the devil, you know. And like for me, it's all about getting out in time, right? If you are in a relationship that's mutually beneficial, reciprocal, and as long as it's like that, those relationships. Go forth, be great. I love it. But as soon as it starts being not unrequited, as soon as it starts being imbalanced, as soon as he starts talking crazy, like he's the leader and the manager and stuff like that. Oh no 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 no. And there, I don't believe in fighting for stuff. I believe that when things are over, they're over. And I feel like this forever thing gets people really hung up in trying to hold on to things, roses, holding on to rose bushes and bleeding to death. That's the image that I get. It's like you think it's so beautiful to be, no, use it for what it's good for. Hopefully, it didn't take you out of here. Hopefully, it didn't leave you with an autoimmune issue. Hopefully, it didn't leave your stomach hanging down to your knees. Hopefully, it didn't leave you bald headed, starting at the ears. Right? Hopefully, you're not have you got your brain is still intact. You have mentally. Hopefully, still got some commas in your bank account. You understand what I'm saying? Get out while you can. I'm just saying, that's how I feel about the situation. And that's how I looked at it, like, oh God, I got out just in time. I think about my grandmother and my aunt. I'm like, they in their 90s and 70s, and they had to wait until the niggas croaked before they did their things and traveled and did their things with their husbands and stuff like that. But knowing that you don't have that burden of this man, like I couldn't even imagine taking care of somebody who had abused me. Girl, somebody was talking about Scorpios the other day. We always talk about Scorpios. I'm a Scorpio. I'm headed, and my North Node is in Scorpio. That's where I'm headed. So I get it, and I know, and I'm just gonna say because I know, and I don't want to, and you understand what I'm saying. Oh, we got appointments coming up. Yeah, we got a lot of appointments coming up. I keep getting calls for appointment confirmations. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio North Node. That's where I'm headed. So fuck with me, you know I got it. That's what I'm telling you. When people tell you who they are, believe them. Girl, I couldn't even imagine taking care of somebody who harmed me. Are you nuts? The way I would leave you sitting in your shit, I would eat, girl, talk about abuse. I'm gonna show you, motherfucker. You pick the right wife. Hmm, I'll take care of you. What you want me to do? Oh my God. You haven't used a bathroom? You got a laxative in your tea by accident. I'm sorry. Can't hold your bowels? What happened? Your stomach is upset? What happened, girl? He got a laxative in his food the other night. I remember one time, and because I don't go to the extreme. I can, people when people tell you like you have to like listen to people when they talk, and you can hear what they're capable of doing. And I'm sure you probably like Erica's a little bit, yeah, yeah, okay, that's fine as long as you know. Just don't fuck with. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel like. As long as you know, if you move like you know that the person is touched, then you would move accordingly, right? And then you would figure like, oh, she's not the one to fuck with. These weird dudes, they try to figure out who they can fuck with. And because I am a nice person. I am a nice person. I am a nice person. I'm kind. I don't want to harm anybody. But if you mess with me, then I just got to go against my rule. I got to go against my rule. I tell my son, when you grow up, be kind. He's so kind, and I tell him, don't ever change that about yourself. But don't let anybody run over you. Don't let people run over you. And so a lot of the times, I remember I used to cry and be like, people mistake my kindness for weakness, and because I wasn't because I'm kind, right? And I don't want to hurt you, but then girl. So I remember one time the boy's father. I'm from East LA, baby. I'm making Mexican food. I'm putting cilantro. He didn't like cilantro. Cilantro. He didn't like it. So I put it in the food. Girl, you don't like it? Oh, you don't like it? You got all this mouth? So guess what I'm gonna do? Put it in the food. Did you put cilantro in this? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I? I don't know. Girl, I was moving so fast, I didn't even know. It's just a habit. I didn't know if he was allergic, if his throat would have closed up. I don't know. I didn't know. But you talking to me crazy? Oh, girl. And then to know and to understand that he now needs assistance because he's legally blind, right? I could have been like my aunt and my grandmother, taking care of a man who harmed me, if I had that mentality. You understand? So I'm glad that was my paternal side and not my maternal side, because my maternal side, they leave the men who harmed them. My grandmother left the man, my maternal grandmother left the man who harmed her. My mother left my dad who harmed her, and then every other man who harmed her after that. And I left the men who harmed me. I don't stay. I do not stay. And the wild part is, the last man who harmed me, caused me a lot of harm, he is actually no longer walking the earth. From the last time I heard, he's out of here. So one motherfucker is blind and the other one is gone. I didn't have to do nothing but eat popcorn and give offerings to my ancestors. I don't have to do nothing. So people pick the right people to fuck with. So I know I'm not suitable. I'm not suitable. You don't like it? I'm gonna make it. You gonna tell me not to do it? I'm gonna do it. That's just my personality. Ask anybody. You tell me to be quiet. I used to get in so much trouble for trying to have the last word, until I realized. I'm gonna tell you a life hack. And if you've never learned anything from me, let them have the last word. That's something that I had to learn. Because I used to get things thrown at me, walking away, talking shit to my mom, trying to get the last word. And then I don't know what incident made me realize the power in letting someone else have the last word. It's so powerful, especially if they waiting for a snappy comeback from you. Leave them on red. Do you hear me? Let them have the last word. Let them have. You got it. And you don't even have to say K. You don't have to say nothing. Say nothing. Say less. I learned that. I had to learn it, because I've gotten into so much trouble having the last word, especially growing up. Oh my God, I got in so much trouble. I used to get whoopings for everything, because my mouth was just like, ooh, Erica. My grandfather used to tell me, keep your mouth. My grandfather, he used to tell me, keep your mouth. You're gonna talk yourself out of stuff. That's what he used to tell me. You need to be quiet, because you're gonna talk yourself out of stuff. You're gonna talk yourself out of stuff. Be quiet. And it was hard for me to be quiet, because if you talking crazy and what you saying sounds crazy to me, I'm going to stop you from saying it. You're not going to be able to talk crazy to me and say anything you want to me. Nope. No. So get out while you can. That's all I have to say about it. Get out while you can. And if it's good, stay in it. If it's not, get out. Don't hold on to roses and bleed to death. And that's some real shit. Let them have the last word. I don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing to nobody. I don't have to do nothing to nobody. You punch me in the face, now you can't see your target. You abused me with your narcissism, you're no longer walking the earth. I don't know what to say. I'm still trying to figure out what happened to the dude the narcissist. I don't know what happened. That's the only reason why I talk about him now. I would never talk about him if he. I don't even know. See, and I go back and forth because he's a conniving type of person. He could have told somebody to tell somebody that he was dead and not really be dead, so somebody can talk about him, so he can hear somebody talk about him. That's why I'm like very like I haven't really got a real true confirmation that that nigga is dead. But even Diva and I were talking. He was like, I cannot believe so and so is dead, and I was like, I can't believe it either, girl. When I got the call, it took me a long time to tell y'all. I told y'all a few months ago, but I had known since I think it was last year. He had died around his birthday. Well, allegedly, I don't even know. And then when I asked the mutual friend who told me, I was like, what were the details? Because I couldn't think. Was it die by suicide? Was it drugs? I don't know what it was. I don't know. Was he killed? Did he have a health issue that I didn't? Girl, I don't know. But yeah, I went through it. That was the one where I really studied narcissism, and I really figured out like, oh, this is the kind of relationship that I'm in. And it made so much sense. I have papers and studying and books, and I was watching Dr. Ramani's videos. I was literally studying, writing down, and understanding it. And in that relationship, although it was like I would never wish being in a relationship with a narcissist with any to any. I would never wish that on anybody. It is the worst, and especially if you are an unhealed empath or a highly sensitive person like myself. You wind up and you have those poor boundaries, you wind up with somebody like that. They look for people with poor boundaries. They look for people pleasers. They do. They feed off of people pleasers with poor boundaries. With and they have the same childhood wound. And that it's so funny because we connected when we started talking about like our parents, our mothers and stuff like that. He told me stories about his mom, and I told him stories about my mom. He told me stories about his dad. I told him stories about and you can see where we had the same wound. He just took a different approach, and I became very sensitive, cry baby about everything, cry about everything. Stop crying, stop crying. My dad always told me, stop crying, stop crying. Stop crying. It's nothing to cry about. But I just used to be crying. I just talked about tears earlier. Anyways, I gotta go. I came down here just to make this really quick video. So men abusing power and men harming their family members and being in close proximity, you really need to take that into consideration. And we really need to learn how to let relationships go that can potentially harm us, that look like it's going to be harmful, where the risk is too high and the reward is nothing. Then we just finished with a little AI market value. The reward on being connected to a cisgender heterosexual man in 2025 is very low. And I'm sorry to tell you, I'm sorry, ladies, sorry to tell you, look it up yourself, drop it in Google or whatever. It has a low market value and a very low return on the investment. So you do so well with your portfolio and you just can't seem to do it with the dude because the stocks are whack. The stock in them, I call it the CHBM. You could just call it the CHM. Hit the cishet man. That's the stock, the ticker symbol. CHM, cishet man. The stocks is low. It's a very low return on the investment. And it's no telling when you will see a return. So you keep wanting to put into that, keep putting your money into that, and every morning you wake up and it's negative. No, thank you. I want to see a positive when I wake up. I want to see a return on the investment. And from what I've learned is I see the most return on the investment that I make on myself. As long as I keep my promises to myself, I see the return on the investment. When I bet on myself, when I invest in myself, that's where I see the return. If I put into something outside of myself, especially into a male, I never saw a return on I never saw the return on the investment. I don't want to hear anybody say anything about my kids. Those are my children. They came out of my pussy. Those are my kids. So they would have been here regardless. So no return on the investment. Nothing, girl. Nothing, girl. So I'm gonna go by the pool, go sit by the pool, finish my little reefer, take a little walk, finish my kombucha, and let's get down to the comments. Take care of each other. Take care of yourself. Put yourself first. Put your oxygen mask on first, literally, in everything, in all situations. Put your oxygen mask on first, every single time. If you ever feel like you're gasping for air while you're helping everybody, it's because you don't have your oxygen mask on, girl. Everybody else, you done gave everybody else the oxygen mask. Now you running around, lungs collapsing. Put your oxygen mask on first. Stop playing with me. Anyways, let's get down in the comments. Take care of each other. Protect your energy. And do something fun this weekend for yourself, right? Go out, take yourself out to lunch, buy yourself some flowers, go have your favorite ice cream, something. And it doesn't have to be simple. Just treat yourself, girl. Treat yourself. You deserve it. And even if you didn't do anything, bitch, you still deserve it. Okay? Peace.